Hello everyone, welcome back, and if you're new here, I'm Rebecca, welcome. Today I'm at Lowe's and I'm picking up some plants. I'm going to show you how I take a couple of plants from Lowe's Death Row and try to revive them at a budget because I'm getting 50% off of those. Picking up a couple of trees for our yard, so come along with us. We're back from Lowe's now, unloading the truck. We picked up a crepe myrtle tree, a limber pine tree, 9 hibiscus plants, and then I have 2 of the plants that came from Lowe's Death Row. That's what I call it when they mark them down. And I got 2 of the cherry red knockout roses for half price. So I'm going to see if I can't sort of bring them back to life and nurture them just a little bit before I plant them out in the yard. We also picked up some of this dark green grass, and we're going to put that around one of our trees. I'm not sure, but Larry had a thought or an idea with that. Beautiful tree. It'll look so tiny out there in that big yard. These are the flower pots that I'm talking about that's set beside my garage. Now I put this little tree, I had them in my front flower pots in my tall black Fairfield flower pots for the winter. And I put them in here, but they're just not surviving. Larry and I are walking out to our water main. He is going to show me what I need to do if I ever have to go and cut the water off. So we all need to know this. I should have known this the day we moved in. I wanted to make sure that I knew how to do that. And sometimes if he's at work, he's an hour away. I'm on the back deck here, and these are the 2 plants that I got off of Lowe's Death Row, and they're not too bad. A lot of times you can take the roses and you're going to trim them back almost to a nub, or at least knee high. And these are sort of new plants, but I'm just going to take all the dead dry leaves off of it, and I'm going to trim all of those dry buds off of it, and then I'm going to put it in some soil, and then I'm going to give it some Miracle Grow. Larry just put in the tree there that I'm going to try to save. So I don't know. I'll see what I can do. So I have to take some of the dirt out of this one pot. Now these pots that I have here, these 2 brown barrel looking pots, they're actually plastic. They came with some mums in it that I had sitting on my porch last fall. Well, when I took the mums out, and guys, I am never good with those. I love them, but every time I plant them in the ground, they never, ever come up. I don't know what I do wrong with them. I'm going to clean off all of the dry leaves and put some fresh dirt. And this is the double knockout cherry red. They were $18.98, half off, so I got 2 for $19. But I'm going to nurture them up here on the deck and, sort of feed them and water them. And once they have a really good start, then I'm going to put them out in the yard somewhere and put a water drip on them for a couple of weeks till they really take hold, unless we have a lot of rain. And then they should be able to survive, and I will have some beautiful cherry red roses. Now, what I like about these, they say double knockout, that you do not have to go out and prune these, that they sort of take care of themselves. So if anybody that's watching has these, let me know. I mean, do you have to go out and prune them to make them look good? Because this says that it's a very easy care. So I don't know. I've had some knockout roses, but I've never had the double knockout roses. So hopefully these are going to produce some beautiful flowers next year. I don't expect to really see anything this year. If I do, it may be one or two little buds, because this would definitely sort of be late in the season. The one plant I'm working on here, this one is the spindly of the two. And I really do get all of that dead, trim all of those dead branches, get the leaves out of there, anything that looks brown or looks dead. And then the next one that I do looks a little bit healthier, but I will show you a picture when I get done here, and we'll come back, in maybe a month or so, and I'll show you how they're doing. And even the little spruce bush, we'll see how that comes along, because I sort of want to nurture it too before I put it out there, because we don't have any shade in our yard. That's why we're talking about putting trees out there, because we don't have a whole lot of shade, and anything we put out in our yard is just getting beat down by the sun all day, unless it's up against the house and it gets a little bit of shade. This plant is the better of the two, and I'm going to trim off anything that looks dead or dry, pull away all of the dry leaves that's fell to the bottom of the pot where the soil is, and we just don't want anything taken away from any of the nutrients that this plant can get. So I'm just going to trim it up, and I want to leave anything green and looks pretty on there. And I'm going to break that soil up there on the bottom, because it really looks like it had been sitting in a pot without any moisture for quite some time. So I just wanted to break that up at the bottom. You don't usually have to do that, but in this case I want it to go ahead, and anything that I can do to boost these little plants and bring them back to life, I will water them and tend to them up here on my deck before I put them out there in the yard. So here they are. The one on the left doesn't look too great, and the one on the right I'm pretty pleased with, but I'm hoping to save both of them. Okay guys, I just need to do a quick cleanup here on the deck and around my flower pots by the garage. And here's a shot of Larry out there mowing the yard. It's just a beautiful day. It's not humid. We had the storms last night. They really did a number on my banners here on my gate. They're just sort of ragged out. I'm probably going to have to take them down. We had just put them up a couple of days before the storm. Now I'm showing you this little tree. This tree here had to be cut down. It was a cherry blossom tree, and it had to be cut down when we put this shed in. But it sprouted back up, and we took 3 or 4 of the stronger branches, and we have intertwined them. We put a stake to it, and it looks like we are going to get this tree back. Beautiful blooms on it, and it attracts all of the little bees that want to pass by our property. But it was just a beautiful tree, so we're happy that this is coming back, and I'll show you in the future the progress of this. And up here on my deck, this is my tropical plant. I gave it food just one time since I planted it, but look at all of the blossoms on it. I'm loving this plant. I always have, and I usually just buy one each year and enjoy it here on my deck. We're gonna plant this. This is a limber pine. I just love it. The soft pine needles, and you can see how the top there just sort of leans over, and can't wait to get that planted. I love that. It can get as wide, I think it's 15 feet, and I'll show you where we're going to plant it. Hey guys, this is the next day, and I just want to show you, look at this new growth already, just overnight. There's some here, and even down here, and over here on the spindly one. These are looking a little better. I may have to still do a little bit of a trim up on that as it grows a little, but it is looking, they're looking better already. I'm surprised. Over here in my flower pots, over here, this is a plant that Larry had picked up, and it's real healthy, it's pretty. And since we have had quite a bit of rain and cloudy days, I have set it out here to get watered and lots of light. And that's just a wild packet of flowers that I picked up from the Dollar Tree, and I sprinkle in the top, and that's what comes up. And then over here, I've got some coming up in this little pot too that I water and just sort of mist. Each time we go to Lowe's, we pick up a couple of these landscape rocks, and we just get a couple of small bags. And when we did our landscape, we put out mulch and rock, more mulch to begin with, but each time we go, we pick up a couple of bags, and here I am just tossing some more of the rock out in the landscape, because eventually we want more rock than we have mulch, and just sort of almost doing away with the mulch. And it's just easier that way. It's not an all day, sweaty kind of job. This is early in the morning, so I'm getting this done. Okay guys, you see this bush right here? They're really low, and I'm glad that they're low with the porch, but they spread out and they can overrule everything. So I'm just going to trim those up in like little ball bushes, won't hurt them at all. We've done it before. But I want to take a moment and show you my blooms in my Fairfield planters. Aren't those just beautiful? Those are like the pink plant I have, that tropical, and I just gave it some Miracle Grow yesterday morning, and here we are the next morning, and look at all those beautiful blooms. Love it, love it. Okay guys, mine don't look quite like Larry's when he does them, so I think I'm gonna hold off and let him, maybe he gets the trimmers with him or something, but that looks pretty puny. So I'm going to stop right there. We are finally changing out this light fixture. I have been wanting to change this ever since we moved in. I didn't like that. I wanted to put up a new one and, just something a little more modern. So we found this round one here at Lowe's, and I'm just loving it. And it's just a small light, but we have plenty of lights. It's motion detector. I'm going to love that. If somebody comes up to the porch, the light's going to come on, which will be great for them to walk up the front steps. So I'm loving it. What do you guys think? But I was showing you the old barn over there. The recent storm has taken down the left side of the door there on the front. The doors are off the back side. More of the tin has blown off. I had heard, the gentleman that mows said that she was trying to find somebody to take the barn down. So each storm that comes through, a little bit more of it's missing, and it won't be long till it'll be gone. I've enjoyed looking at the old barn. It reminds me that I'm in the country. I'd like to share some scripture with you today, and that's in 2 Corinthians 9:15. Thanks be unto God for his unspeakable gift. I didn't want this video to get too long, so we didn't get around to planting our trees, but I will have that in an upcoming video. So that's going to be enough for today, guys. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.